Hi everyone, I'm Joel Baird, the General Manager of Missoula Community Access Television, inviting you to this edition of Missoula Live. It's live on Monday, April the 30th. You're going to see it every day right through May 13th. And we'll come back with our new and last show of the season on Monday, May 14th. So I just wanted to point out a few MCAT things to you. Maybe Scott will show you the website. I guess first, I would talk about summer camp. So summer camp is coming up on June 25th. We have the first one. There's 4 summer camps, and 3 are in the afternoon and suitable for kids ages 9 and up. And the first one, animation camp. Kids will learn computer skills, storytelling, a little teamwork, and they will also have opportunity to use our virtual reality. I guess in all these, if they're good, they can check out virtual reality. We've got an interesting summer camp coming up in July. This is called a Montana Time Travelers Camp. And we're doing this in conjunction with the Historical Museum at Fort Missoula. And in this camp, kids are able to pick out an episode or a person in Montana's history and then make a short video about that person or about that episode. And the Historical Museum is going to help, like with props or with backgrounds on a green screen or with costumes and certainly with information. There'll be a second animation camp immediately following in July 16th. And then on July 23rd is Zombie Camp. And Zombie Camp, it's more suitable for kids that are older. They've got maybe 14 and up. Partly because it's gross. It's to my mind, it's never really that scary, but it's a little scary. And kids really enjoy it because they get to use special effects, makeup, and so on. All of the camps, the first 3 camps that are half day, they're $125. MCAT is a nonprofit. MCAT has scholarships available. You can learn more about the scholarships by emailing us at mcat@mcat.org, and we'll send you a link to that application if it's too much. Zombie Camp is $200 and it's all day, and there's scholarships available for that as well. And then last, on the kid activity at MCAT front, Saturday animation drop-in, it still goes on. We've had some really nice weather, but Scott and Neil have pledged to be here between 1 and 5 p.m. Every Saturday remaining in the month. So they're going to stop the Saturday before Memorial Day weekend. It's a $10 fee for the drop-in hours. And you don't have to pre-register anything. It's kind of like a prelude to animation camp. They're using Legos and other stop motion figurines, and kids seem to really enjoy it. So the last thing, wait a minute, I better tell you about taking the survey. So I want to encourage you to go to the MCAT website, click on Take the Survey, as Scott is showing you guys at home, and then it says, take me to the survey. So if you do this, you're really going to help out the city of Missoula and MCAT plan for the next 10 years of making community media happen. The survey will ask you, your experience using cable television or seeing MCAT through the web. It will ask you how you envision local community communication taking place over the next 10 years. And it has that time frame because the agreement between the cable company, Charter, and the city of Missoula is going to expire at the end of this year. So the city is working on what's called like a community needs assessment, and they want to hear from you, dear viewer, as to what you think the future ought to hold. If you take the time to fill out the survey and you could just provide your name, some way of contacting you. You can be entered to win a $250 gift certificate for a downtown purchase card that's good at over 160 businesses. Then for my Good Samaritan activity, I was just going to remind you that ballots are out for the school levy. And if you haven't received one in the mail, you can contact the Missoula County Elections Office to make sure you get this ballot. You fill the ballot out. There's instructions on the yellow sheet. And then this one is a pretty simple ballot. It's asking 2 questions about supporting the K through 12 schools. You have an envelope to put your ballot in, and then you got to sign it somewhere. I don't see it here. Well, you got to sign it. In any event, I just want to remind you that these ballots have been sent in the mail. If you haven't received one, call the Missoula County Elections Office to make sure that they get one to you, because the ballots have to be received by 8 p.m. on Election Day, and this is the election day for the school district, which is different than primary, and that's on May 8th, Tuesday, May 8th. So it's coming up like a week from tomorrow, talking about today. So thank you, dear viewer, for bearing with all that. And on to the guests. So Franco and Carrie are here. Welcome. Thank you for taking the time to be on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, you know it. So what year of the Clark Fork market is it for you?
Well, for me personally,
Yeah.
see, I've been with them since 2007.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess we're going on about 11 years.
Whoa, congratulations.
Yeah. Carrie's been with us for a couple years now. So.
Yeah.
Second season.
Excellent. So let's say somebody lives under a rock. They haven't heard of Clark Fork Market. And I'm like, Clark Fork Market, what is it? What would you tell them?
Well, so we are a farmer's market. We're located just next to Karis Park in downtown Missoula. We're basically there to promote agriculture in western Montana. That's kind of our region for our vendors, and also just make local healthy food accessible to everyone, and allow people to come to the market and meet their farmer and kind of know what they're eating. So
and there's a lot of food vendors down there on Saturdays as well, right?
We've added some. There's going to be one more.
Yeah, so we've added about 5 or 6 new food vendors this season.
Excellent.
And that's going to range from anything from Vietnamese cuisine. We have some chicken shawarma.
What is that?
So it's an Iraqi dish.
Interesting.
It's almost kind of like the Euro meat, like the Greek kind of.
Okay, yeah.
So we'll have a vendor like that.
That's interesting.
We did a customer survey last year.
Yeah.
And some of the things people wanted to see was a couple more prepared food vendors, and then also more vegan, gluten-free options. So we did add a couple of gluten-free bakeries, and it's actually nice because, as another example, the Vietnamese vendor, just with what the food is, it's already, I think he had said, about 60% vegan or gluten-free. They use a lot of rice and soy. And so.
Will there be meat sales at the market? I was always thinking that had distinguished Clark Fork Market from Farmers Market up here on the north end of Higgins. But I'm not sure if that's true. But I remember people going there to buy, large amounts, like half steer or, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So yeah, we kind of had a nickname, I guess, when we first started, the meat market. But
it's
kind of one of those things where it's there's definitely plenty of vegetables, but the other part of agriculture, or one other part of it, is the ranchers and the cattle and the pigs. So we have a good selection. One thing that's kind of new for this season, you will be able to buy yak meat at a Hot Springs at the market.
Curious, yeah.
So that's something some folks can try. And then we will have goat, and we're working on getting lamb down there. Consistently, we do have it every now and then, but so we're trying to kind of expand that as well.
So the vegetable market is there along with the meat market, along with all the vendors that are selling food that people can eat right there as they're going around the market, checking out the stalls and so on. And this Saturday, May 5th, is the first.
Yes, it's opening day.
Wow.
Opening day, yeah. And just a couple other things about, I guess, the new season. We're been trying to work, it's probably fun for the parents to come down and go shopping, but if they're dragging their children with them and they maybe don't want to be there, or they want to go play in the park, we've actually are going to have children's activities that we're going to add to each market. And that's kind of what Carrie's been working on.
No kidding.
The market decided to experiment for the first month of the market to have children's-based events. And the first event is going to be Families First Children's Museum is going to be doing a discovery bottle.
Nice. Discovery bottle.
Where the children put these summer-based things inside of a bottle with water and vegetable oil and colors and.
Oh, I get you.
Yeah, it's.
It makes like a kaleidoscope or that kind of thing.
Yeah,
that's really
and the
cool.
parents can join in too. And
Right.
I mean, the goal is really to make the market family friendly and make it enjoyable for the children who come so excited and willing to learn, and this kind of funnels that energy into creativity and education.
Excellent.
So, and then the parents get to have fun too because they get to relax for a second and show up your talk.
Yeah, that's a really interesting addition, and I'm glad that you're doing it with the Families First Children's Museum. You know, there are future partners when the new library is built. It will have a MCAT studio in it, Families First Children's Museum, and Spectrum Science Discovery Center will all be like together under one roof and so on. So that's really cool that you guys are doing that. And you'll have different activities. I mean, that's the start of the program, and then you're envisioning doing other stuff.
Yeah, and May 12th we'll have Peaceful Heart Yoga and Preschool come and teach yoga and mindfulness-based activities in the grass.
Whoa.
And then May 19th, Von Common Studios is going to come and show children how to decorate shopping totes.
Oh.
And Zoo City Apparel donated totes to be able to do that, but they can bring whatever they want if they have a favorite shirt.
Oh, right.
So they're future shoppers, and they get to paint it with little vegetable stamps too if they don't have the motor skills.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, that's really fun. And the market is free, right? It's not like there's an entrance fee or anything like that.
These will be free events, free creative educational events for children.
Yeah. Oh,
Free
that's
live music?
brilliant.
Free live
Yeah, often there's buskers and so on, right?
Yeah.
Like I remember Kurt, I can never say Kurt's, it's called Pale People now, his band.
Oh, yeah.
Kurt Schrickseth, maybe. But anyway, he used to have an MCAT show. So he was down here doing like he would play with his friend John, and he had kind of a call in. Scott, can you remember the name of the show? The show had a really long name. Can you read lips?
Something German.
What? Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course, that immediately came to my mind, the Rabid Sand Crabs show. But he posts pictures, you know, like on the Facebook when his band is busking. I don't know if they're still doing it. And then I've seen the WOW bus down there from the library from time to time.
Yeah, they were coming down at one point. Sometimes, if we're lucky enough, the city of Missoula has a water truck.
Oh, nice.
Where people can fill up their water bottles, and there's drinking fountains on it.
Oh, yeah, maybe they would be doing that.
So that comes down. I know they have a lot of events that they do.
Yeah, I've seen the truck out on the shop, you know, on Broadway. We did, recently we did like how to detect a water leak, public service announcement, and I saw the truck there. Well, and I want to make sure people know where it is, and if people know where the carousel is, then they just imagine on the east side of the bridge.
Yes, yeah.
Voila.
Under the bridge downtown?
Yeah, that would do it. On the east side of the Higgins Street Bridge.
Yeah, which is the Riverside parking lot, I guess, is the official
I didn't know
location.
That. Yeah. And it's so active. Like sometimes in the summer, if people are, tubing the river or something, they'll get out there and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys have a great spot for the market.
Yeah, we love being by the river
and all this activity. It starts this Saturday, May 5th. It goes through. I mean, it's the start of summer. This is a shocker. What time does it open?
So we open at 8 a.m. and we go until 1 p.m. And that's actually, so that'll be May 5th,
right.
All the way through September.
Yeah.
And then once October hits, which let's not think about that right now.
Yeah, that's kind of like way ahead.
Once October hits, we do change the hours to 9 a.m. instead of 8 a.m. just because of the darkness.
It's been a long winter, people.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything you want to add?
About the only other thing, we did expand the market towards the Holiday Inn on Patty Street.
Okay.
So there'll be a few more vendors on that side. And just kind of one other thing, we did put a ban on plastic straws.
Oh, no
At the
kidding.
market for our
Good for
vendors
you.
and styrofoam, and that's just kind of our first step. And we
Yeah.
do have a waste reduction program, and we do as much recycling and composting from the market that we can. But we wanted to take another step forward and kind of move towards that, and that's working with the 0 to 50 initiative through the
Chase
city.
Jones and all that.
Jones. So we're trying to definitely work with those folks as much as we can.
Oh, that's really good. Yeah, because we had also done a show just recently. It's not quite finished yet, but down at Caras Park, there's like a separator deal because, well, I can explain it, a separator deal. I don't really know. It's this thing, right? But what I'd learned doing the show is that all of the storm drains of downtown were going like directly into the river.
Yeah.
Not sewage, mind you, people. Not sewage, but all the straws, all the cups, all the cigarette butts, the stuff was, because that's how they set it up in the old days. In the old days, the river was a dump for this town. People would bring donkeys by and throw them in if they had passed away. So in any event, it is important for downtown to try to do that waste reduction too, so that it doesn't go in the river. And now the separator is going a long way, so that sewer collection system is now being strained.
Good.
And when we did the show, it was cold, it was like January, but there were all these candy wrappers and straws and all that stuff. So you guys, that's a really great innovation.
Yeah, and we're trying to make it easy for the vendors and provide them with a list of, different products that they can buy that are compostable or at least recyclable. Paper straws is kind of the path that we're going towards, I guess, there. So
excellent.
I've never actually used a paper straw, but
I think I have, but I can't remember. Can you mention the glass straw? That would be so wild. Like, let me just get my straw out. But yeah, maybe things are changing back in some way. Well, thank you both for taking time to be on the show, and good luck with the season.
Yeah,
I mean, I know I'll be down there.
Yeah, we'll see you down there.
All right, so you guys, the Clark Fork markets start Saturday, May the 5th, and they hope to see you there. I've got a few more guests out there in the bullpen. Scott's going to show you a little PSA, and we're going to reassemble here in a few minutes' time. We'll be right back.
911, what are you reporting? My daughter, she's just lying on the floor. What's your address?
Every year, more than 70,000 American kids are admitted to the emergency room because of accidental ingestion of prescription drugs.
Is she breathing?
Safeguard your home. Safeguard your prescriptions.
How old is she?
Keep your prescriptions locked up and away from your kids.
Someone's coming. Okay, I'm going to get you help, okay?
Proper use, proper storage, proper disposal.
Help will be there soon.
Choices matter, Missoula.
Sergeant Greg Amison with the Missoula Police Department. I'd like to talk a little bit about bicycles riding on the sidewalks in the city of Missoula, which we see a lot because Missoula is a very bike-friendly town. I would just like to let bicyclists know that they do have to yield to pedestrians on the sidewalk safely because they travel faster than a pedestrian, so they do have to do that in a safe manner. And then when you get to a crosswalk, you are actually required to slow your bicycle down to what would be called a pedestrian pace, and you cannot begin crossing until it's safe to do so.
Missoula Community Access Television works with kids in an active learning environment where they get hands-on experience in video production. MCAT offers weekly Saturday classes that spark creativity in kids from 9 to 13 years of age. Located downtown at 500 North Higgins. MCAT Saturday Drop-Ins. Create your story.
There. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Can I tell you another one? So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it. What's Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana. What is a boxer's favorite drink? Fruit punch.
Ranchers are the stewards of Montana's great grasslands and wetlands. Ducks Unlimited works with ranchers on conservation programs to improve cattle production and wildlife habitat. Montana is the nation's third largest waterfowl producer. Ducks Unlimited promotes working lands programs that help keep ranchers on the land while improving habitat for wildlife and Montana's outdoors people. To learn more about conservation and Ducks Unlimited, visit www.ducks.org/Montana.
So how was work?
It was 1,300 hours.
Hey everyone, we are back. Teresa Cox is here with Larry Perney. Larry is an artist, and many of you have seen Larry's work. Like, for instance, if you've gone to the Depot restaurant, I think they would see Larry's work there. Maybe at the Florence Hotel building. But Larry makes beautiful work of the West, or you know what is evocative to me of the West. And there is a special fundraiser that he is helping with the carousel, right? So
yes.
You're going to do most of the talking,
okay.
I understand. So you want to explain to people what is going on for this fundraiser?
You know, we are so blessed because Larry came to me with the idea for this fundraiser. We didn't even have to go ask him if he would help us with this.
That's a soul.
Yes, yep. He has done, he has donated to us 15 original framed acrylics.
I'm going to hold it up just for that camera. Or
I'll
here's,
hold one of
yeah,
one of
that
them.
where you
They're
could
all
see the
about
big
this
one.
size.
Yeah. Scott, you want to zoom into that one? Is that okay? The one Larry's holding? Yeah.
And each of the 15 will be sold for $1,200.
Yeah.
So this is going to happen this Sunday, May 6th, from 4 to 7 at the Carousel. The paintings are hung. Larry came this morning and hung them so people can come and look at them. About 6:15 on Sunday, we'll start. We have little boxes for each that are associated with each painting. We'll draw a name out of the box and say who has won the right to purchase it. Oh. If it happens that you've already bought 3 of them and you really can't afford 4, even though you might really want 4, you can say, well, draw the next name. Oh. So you can put your name in all the boxes. It doesn't mean you have to draw all of them if you get chosen, but it gives you a chance to purchase one of them.
Right.
So we are so excited about this.
Oh, they look wonderful because now Larry has shown one, and is that blue that you've just?
Yes,
I think so. But there's Sundown and Prancer, Cloud, Moonglow. I'm not going to go through them all, but they all have such animation and that really distinctive palette of yours that I've admired for years.
Thank you, Joe. People ask me all the time about where does this color come from?
Right.
And this is an example. There's actually 50 of these horses.
Wow.
And I only pulled 15 out.
Yeah.
Because I play with the same symbol as many times as the kid in me wants to come up with an idea.
Right.
Focused on color. You'll notice the composition is the same at all. The horse is the same shape.
Right.
Occupies the same space on the plane.
Right.
But I have endless opportunity just to play with color and how I relate to that color.
Yeah.
Most of them I throw away. But once in a while, I'm on a roll.
Yeah, right.
This series is an example of, I will not apologize for any of this. It's
there
as
you
close
go.
to my voice playing with a horse,
yeah.
which is why I love the carousel, because I play with a horse when I go to the carousel. So the kid in me is totally in harmony with this wonderful fundraiser.
Oh, I see. And so many, you editorialize somewhat. It puts me in mind, I think it was Don Bunzy at University of Montana. You probably remember Don.
Yes.
That he said, and maybe he's quoting someone else, the more I practice, the luckier I get. And that could be also what you feel, you know, working with the composition and the color and the repetition and so on. Well, I think that people would be really interested in this. So that's how you decided to deal with their desire is almost through lottery, right?
Yes.
The way you explained it, like.
Yes.
Because I'm guessing a lot of people will be interested in each one of them.
Right.
So, and that was really the only fair way we could do it. So.
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense
Yeah.
too. It starts at 4. Okay.
It starts at 4. The carousel's still open from 4 to 5:30.
Okay.
So we'll have things like cookies and punch from 4 to 5:30. So it'll be really family friendly.
Yeah.
Starting at 5:30, we'll have a no-host bar, and we'll have appetizers passed around, and just gives people a chance to mingle and come in and look at the paintings and put their name in the boxes. If someone cannot attend the event on Sunday, they can call me at the carousel, 549-8382, and I can take down their information and make sure that their name goes in. They just need to promise to purchase the first one that we
win.
pull.
Well, you can always go to the next one,
Yeah.
like an auction or something like that. And then I see here too on the poster you had some sponsorship by First Security Bank and Advanced Imaging.
Right.
And I'm sure you want to mention that. Do you have a specific project in mind for the proceeds? Is it for operational support?
It's for operation, yes.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
great.
We always need money for operations,
Well,
as
yeah.
does everyone else. Yeah.
Remember the visit I made in my new show,
Yes,
Out and About, and that was really fun. To see them up close, and the starting and the stopping. And I guess, maybe we're presuming too much of our viewership to say, well, what's a carousel? I can't imagine it, but there are people they're cable subscribers that live, out in the valley or something, and they've just never been there. They've never seen it. So we should recommend that to them, that they could see, a hand-carved, a beautiful color, life-size, enchanting device called a carousel right down in Caras Park. And
the first fully hand-carved carousel to be made in America since the Great Depression.
Yeah, for instance.
The horses then were all carved here between 1988 and 1995. Our frame and motor is an antique, though, or are an antique. The frame and motor as a unit is an antique.
Yeah.
Anyway, they were built in
grammar
in 1918, so they are 100 years old this year.
Too.
It's a birthday for the frame and motor.
And what a perfect idea, Larry, to bring horses to the carousel, right?
As I referred to later, the kid in me is the one that decided on doing this. There is no logic to give away art if you're only in it for business.
Yeah, right.
The kid wanted to do this because the joy that I get and friends of mine that get and my kids get every time we go to that carousel.
Yeah.
I've never been involved with any project that didn't have a lot of politics involved. I try to stay away from a lot of that.
Right.
There was no politics in this. All along, the amount of people that donate construction materials, time, effort, labor.
Isn't it something?
It's the whole community's carousel. We have this wonderful person to make sure we're using it. So these carousels start to die because there's so much entertainment competition. So the carousel doesn't get the attention.
Oh, yeah.
But this lady makes sure
that's
that
true.
we find
Thank you,
ways to use
Teresa.
it.
I think
Absolutely.
that's well said and very timely. And what a great intersection, I always thought, for Missoula. Wood and horses.
Absolutely.
Just,
yes.
These two elements that have really defined the history of the town, over a century and more. Well, let's repeat it. I don't want to exhaust you like in conversation, but the event is Sunday, May the 6th. The start is at 4.
Right.
And that's also the social hour, the hangout hour.
Yes.
The have a good time hour, appreciate the carousel hour. And then the drawing will start at 6:15.
Correct.
And there seems to be a codicil here. Let me put on my cheaters. It says additional painting will be offered at live auction when all 15 paintings have been claimed. Do we cover that already? Did you explain what that was?
No, and we're kind of not going to talk much about it.
Okay, so that's very interesting. An additional painting will be offered at live auction. So that's a surprise. That's excellent. That's a good way to draw people in.
That's kind of determined by demand.
Okay.
We'll see how that goes.
All right, exactly. And dear viewer, if you want more information, you can call Teresa 549-8382. You could leave a message if somebody's not there, and you say if you would like one of the chance, to own one of these terrific paintings, but you can't attend the event. Teresa will get in touch with you. Well, thank you, Teresa.
Thank you very
Larry,
much.
so much
Yeah.
for taking the time to be on the show today.
Of course.
And guess what's coming up, Missoula? And that's Missoula Gives, which will probably involve all of us. So Jesse Rogers is here from the Historical Museum of Fort Missoula, and also Meredith Prince, who represents Missoula Community Foundation. They're going to talk about this day, 2 days of giving. That's coming up May 3rd and 4th, right after you see this from Scott.
So how was work?
It was 1,300 hours. My math class from 302 was in the trenches. Davy Roth had it the worst. Fractions were coming at him left and right. He just didn't get the damn things. 2 days ago, I tried to teach him what 1/4 of 1/2 was using different sizes of blocks. Yesterday, I tried again by dividing up pizza. Both missions failed.
Oh no.
But today, I was ready. I created a combat math game where the only way to beat the enemy is to out-fraction them. Davy conquered every last denominator. My game was so successful, the principal is deploying it to math squadrons all over the school. Anywho, how was your day?
Oh, today my boss treated the office to salad wraps.
Salad wraps.
I know.
Hey, how's it going over? Oh, have a good day. Oh, I didn't see you over there. What a nice day to be out and about today. But I want to tell you something about what's going on here. Hold on a second. Let me just adjust this. Okay, there you go. Let me talk about MCAT. MCAT is doing Saturday drop-ins starting every Saturday this fall, winter, and spring season from 1 to 5 p.m. Let's go check it out. Come on. MCAT is a great way to create. All you got to do is come on down to our location at 500 North Higgins. It's as easy as that. See you there.
Birthdays come and go, each year adding up to a lifetime full of extraordinary moments. At Missoula Aging Services, we promote the independence, dignity, and health of older adults. We are ready to help connect seniors to the help they need. Knowing you've got friends to support you, each birthday can be special. See how we can help. Call 728-7682 or log on to MissoulaAgingServices.org.
Elder abuse is a growing problem, and it's happening right here in our Montana communities. At least 1 in 10 older adults are victims of physical or emotional abuse, financial exploitation, or neglect. To get help or report elder abuse, call your local area agency on aging or Adult Protective Services at 1-844-277-9300.
We are back, apparently. We can't rehearse what we're going to say. Meredith Prince is here from Missoula Community Foundation. Jesse Rogers from Historical Museum of Fort Missoula. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming for another year of Missoula Gives.
Yes.
This is a wonderful opportunity for people, I think, like kind of mid-year, you know, like in December, I think for tax purposes, and we'll see what the new tax laws do. In any event, you know, the people often get a lot of appeals in December. Very clever. Let's give people some appeals in the spring as well. But do you want to explain, you know, in case people have never heard of Missoula Gives, what it's about?
Sure. So this is our 5th annual community-wide giving event that will be happening on May 3rd and 4th, which is Thursday and Friday from 5 p.m. through 10 p.m. And it's primarily an online giving event, so people go to MissoulaGives.org, and we've got around 170 organizations in Missoula County, and actually also Ravalli County this year. So you can, if you like some Ravalli County organizations, you can
Good
give
for
to them
you.
as well.
Okay.
Yeah. And we are hoping to raise $375,000 from 3,000 donors. We want,
but you've done it in the past. I mean, maybe not that that high,
right?
But you've gone well over what the average person is like. No one has that much money. No, that will never work. And you've exceeded goals.
Working.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we will also have some in-person events if people don't want to go online or maybe they need a little bit of help.
That's
we've got
right.
our kickoff party at Plonk on Thursday from 5 to 8.
Right.
And you get a free cocktail.
Oh,
with the
do ya?
donation.
Yeah.
So you just bring the checkbook, get a free cocktail.
Yep,
Not
checkbook
bad.
or
Cash.
credit card or
We'll be right there at the front, taking
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the donations and handing out the free cocktail drinks.
How many,
Chips.
well, a round figure, how many nonprofit organizations are participating this year?
It's about 170, which is more than we've ever had because we
Yeah,
did
yeah.
add the Bitterroot Valley
Yeah.
nonprofits.
Oh, congratulations. That's really
Yeah.
wonderful. And then Missoula Community Foundation, you want to tell people about it in a sentence or two, but
Sure.
I'm sure you're tired of it,
Well,
but they should know the great
yeah.
work you guys do.
We have a new mission statement, and I'm very excited about,
okay.
Which is to promote community vitality by inspiring philanthropy and strengthening nonprofits.
Excellent.
That's what we're all about, and this Giving Day really encapsulates all of that. We want everyone to think of themselves as a philanthropist, whether you have $5 or $5,000.
Yeah.
It all makes a difference. You know, people, young kids, older folks, you know, everybody can give whatever they can. And we also want to promote strong nonprofits like the Historical Museum at Fort Missoula.
For
It's
example.
doing really important work. If we don't know our history, we are doomed to repeat it. So
Yeah.
let's make sure we know what that is, and a whole bunch of other nonprofits. do really
There's so
important
many,
work.
right? As you guys know from being on this show over the years, and as I certainly know, as you guys constitute now, the 1,078th and the 1,079th person that I have interviewed.
Wow.
The neat
There's
thing,
hundreds of nonprofits in Missoula.
there are. One of the things I love about Missoula Gives, I've been part of it for so long now. I feel it's a part of my baby. I love it.
Yeah.
But it's like shopping. You can go on to Missoula Gives and donate to multiple organizations.
Right.
And that's how I do. I mean, I can only donate about $5, $10.
Right.
But I can go on and say, I want to support these 5 different organizations, click the amount for each one, and just to have one donation that goes through, but support 5 of my friends' organizations or places I'm passionate about.
Scott is showing it to people at home. Though I looked earlier, can you tell him like where to go to show like what it looked like was kind of like catalog setup where I saw thumbnails, right, of each organization. And Scott, can you find that just so people can understand a
click
little
on
more
Give
clearly what
Back.
Jesse is saying?
Or actually, if you scroll down,
Scroll
it'll show you
down.
some. So they can
Maybe
on
get
any
rid
of
of
those.
Missoula Gives for the moment, just so people could see.
Well, yeah,
We love
let's see.
bossing him around. Sorry.
maybe go up anyway, and then you can click on up more.
Go up
Just a little
more.
There we
See,
go.
there's some
down.
organizations listed, so you could
And you
pick
can
one
click-
of those and click on it, and then you can see the profile page of the organization.
Yeah, click on any
Which
one of those.
should you pick?
And then you can search for like
There
youth
you
or
go.
education or culture or
Oh,
community.
right. So you'd say,
or
what's my
health.
area of interest?
Yeah, so you can
that I
go
would like?
straight to that.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you know what organization, you could search for it. If you know a category, you can look at the category, or you could just kind of browse and maybe
Yeah.
find an organization you've never
Yeah,
heard
you
of
didn't even
before.
know that it existed.
Yeah.
And as you say, it's an opportunity for people to, kind of spread whatever it is they can afford to give if they want to over a bunch of organizations. You could do $5 across the board and say, all right, I'm going to give $100. You can choose 20 organizations
Yeah.
to help, which is really
And
kind of nice.
From a nonprofit, really $5 adds up. You know,
Right.
it really does, and every little bit makes a difference for us. So if people think, oh, I don't have that much to donate, it's like, no, everyone can be a philanthropist, and $5 or $10 goes a long way when you have an organization who's working hard for your community.
Yeah. And I think it's really important, if there are some dear viewer parents out there, they want to teach kids good habits. Well, I do happen to think giving away money is a good habit. Well, no.
We like
But,
it, though.
right. But, if they say, well, this is what you do, you hold the door for people, or if somebody asks you for directions and it seems like they're not going to attack you, you could probably give them to them. But just something just part of citizenship or something like that.
Well, one of the things I love about the Plonk kickoff on Thursday night is we do have a lot of families come in, and you'll see the mom or the dad hand like $10 or $20 to their kid and say, okay, here's your opportunity to donate. You go choose who you want to donate to, and the kids will come up and they'll, they either have a plan or you kind of help them out with, so what is your focus? What do you like?
Right.
Do you like animals, or do you like music, dancing? And then they make a donation, which is really good. And then the parents get the free cocktail.
Yes, I mean, there's like
a win-win.
a little win-win there for sure. And that's Thursday, the third?
The third.
The kickoff part. And then, is that the donor lounge? Because I know, a couple of years ago we were talking about all these donor lounges and so on.
So we have Plonk, of course, and then we will be outside the Florence building from 9 to 4 with some tables. And we'll also have a little parklet during First Friday.
Oh, nice.
And also the Good Food Store from 11 to 2.
And this is on May 4th.
May 4th, Friday.
The Friday, right.
Yep. And then a lot of nonprofits have partnered up with local businesses on First Friday. And I think Jesse wanted to talk about something we have going on at the Public House.
Yeah, so it's really another cool thing about Missoula Gives this year is we're doing a lot of collaboration, and we are collaborating with a lot of local businesses down on First Friday and other nonprofits. So down at the Public House from 5 to 8, there'll be several nonprofits in the Public House with activities, games, different, pop-up kind of partlets and that kind of stuff, and the Historical Museum will be there.
Excellent.
We're going to have the memory booth, so you can come down and share your memories.
That's so great.
And we'll also have some historical reenactors, so you can come down and meet maybe Laura Ingalls Wilder or someone like that.
Oh, that's totally
and
great.
then we'll have our Walking Through the Decades exhibit, so you can find your decade and see what was going on. And so it's just going to be a really fun event down there for First Friday. And then I think right after that, the Public House is the finale party, right?
Yep.
Oh, see, that's great timing.
And we're going to have some live entertainment, booth, food and drink and activities. And so you can come down and celebrate with us from 8 to 10 on First Friday.
Oh, that's really great. I like that space.
Yeah.
I've gone there a couple of times. It's, It used to be Dos Lobos. It used to be a Mexican restaurant in
I thought it was Old Army.
1985.
Oh, okay.
1985.
Wow.
Before
when
I
I first went in there, it was Dos Lobos.
Lots of memories at the Public House.
Oh, my stars. And it's 130 East Broadway?
I think so, yes.
I think it is.
East Broadway,
130 East Broadway.
Yeah, it's right
It's
next
in
to
the Masonic Lodge. That's also going to be like,
Mm.
nobody knows what we're talking about.
By the post office downtown.
Yep.
Yeah, like go to the post office and go one block.
Yeah, if you've hit the runner's edge, you just take her.
Yeah.
Go east, young man. Go east.
And you'll see it like First Security Bank, parking lot,
Yep.
Public House.
Yep.
Pretty much. That sounds really fun. So you guys set up
It's going to be great.
a great kickoff and then a great
Finale.
finale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well-rounded, and it's always a hoot to see who is the highest on the leaderboard. You can even make some personal bets, like I do each year.
Well,
Who's gonna win?
I actually know, but because I know, no, I won't say any more.
All right.
I won't say any more. But I do want to say that there will be a fun happening at the First Interstate Bank courtyard at 5 p.m. on Friday. So I don't want to say too much.
Is that what I was calling the parking lot between Public House and First Interstate Building? Or?
No, this is First Interstate, so not First Security.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so it's right by
Oh,
the
I know
bridge.
exactly what you mean. We were just talking to Franco and Carrie about the Clark Fork Market.
Yeah, exactly.
There's like a sundial up there.
Yep, exactly, by the sundial at 5 p.m. Show up, you won't be disappointed.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, this is that's interesting because when Teresa and Larry were here, they were like, "Oh, we're going to auction a painting," and I'm like, "So what's that about?" And they're like, "Well, you just have to show up."
Right. We're double on that.
Television can't do everything. You know
You
what I
got to be
mean?
there in person.
You
for
got to
this. You
show
gotta feel
up.
the philanthropy in the air.
Right.
It's definitely buzzing on Missoula.
And
Gives.
Yes.
People should go to MissoulaGives.org.
Yes.
So don't get confused, dear viewer. Don't go necessarily. You should go to Historical Museum at Fort Missoula's website someday. You should go to MissoulaCommunityFoundation.org someday. But
right now,
on the 2 days, or if you want to check it out and get a feel, you should go to MissoulaGives.org.
And I wanted to do a quick throw out that I forgot. We have a wonderful donor lounge at Big Sky Breakout, the escape room, on May 4th. This is for the Historical Museum.
Nice.
So from 11 to 5 on May 4th at Big Sky Breakout. If you go down there, you can make whatever donation you want, and you will get entered to win maybe a 6-person escape game or some wonderful swag.
Oh, that stuff they do there where you have to
Yes.
figure out how to get out of something.
It's totally fun. I have fell through the looking glass and made it out with 20 seconds to
Did
spare.
ya? And you had a good time?
It's really a hoot. And Big Sky Breakout, wonderful supporter of our community, and I'm looking forward to their donor lounge. I think it'll be a hoot.
That's really clever. And is that in the shopping center?
Nope, this one is right over next to Kettle House.
Oh,
So
is it
you
on
can
the other side of the
donate, have a
railroad
beer,
tracks?
Go try to escape, have another beer.
It's actually in my friend's old house.
Oh, my
They lived there, they
stars.
fixed it up, and they sold it to Big Sky Breakout.
And the house is the breakout.
Yep.
It is. There's, I think, 3 or 4 rooms. It's pretty
This
fun.
town will spin your head around. And you know what it reminded me of, and I put this paper here, though I don't want to, dilute, but we've got time. See, it's like 14 minutes before the hour. Celebrate the impacts of those who make a difference. Nomination deadline for Western Montana's Philanthropy Day Awards approaching.
Yes.
So I just thought that was a little germane to Missoula Gives. So you sent that.
Yes, I'm
You're
on the
behind
board.
this.
I am behind that.
busy.
I'm busy girl. I am on the board of the Western Montana Fundraisers Association, and we do a lot of wonderful work. We've partnered with the Missoula Community Foundation before to do monthly lunch and learns. And one of our big things that we do each year is a philanthropy day, where we promote and support the organizations, the people, the volunteers, the companies who give back to our community.
Yeah.
And so we ask our community to give us nominations of who they think is. So it's nominate your neighbor. Who do you think has been a great philanthropic person? And you can go to www.wimfra. That's WMFRA.
Good for you. I can
.org.
fact check right here. Yes,
Got it.
That's the real thing.
And you'll see it right there on the main page if you want to nominate someone for this year's Philanthropy Day.
Yeah.
And then the big event is June 1st at the Doubletree. And again, you can go on to wimfra.org to find out about information for the event and come and celebrate philanthropy after Missoula Gives.
See, that's perfect. And there's categories, a philanthropist, a volunteer fundraiser, outstanding foundation, outstanding corporation, outstanding fundraising executive, outstanding service club. All those, Sunrise, Kiwanis, Rotaries, they'll be competing. Outstanding young philanthropists. And so the deadline on that is May 11th.
May 11th.
All right, but we should recap and then I'll let you go. Missoula Gives, May 3rd and 4th.
Yes.
Starts at Plonk, the Thursday the 3rd, in the evening-ish, 5
to 8, yep.
And people get a free Plonk cocktail if they go there, and they can also, make a donation, hang out with other donors.
They get a free cocktail if they make a donation.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah.
With each donation.
With
so you can
each
make multiple donations and get multiple drinks.
Right. And what is there? There's
Yes.
Uber,
Right.
there's Lyft, there's Yellow Cab, and so on. And then First Friday at the Public House, really interesting set of activities going on.
Yeah.
Different nonprofits are going to be there
All
doing
around
activity
town,
stuff. Historical Museum is going to underline with the historical reenactors, the memory booth, and that we think is 130 East Broadway.
Yes.
But we know that it's just like one little block down from.
I remember it as the old Army Navy store.
Yeah, that's good. And also the Raven.
Yeah,
Right.
Remember the
Yeah.
Raven Coffee House?
We're all sitting here with
Yeah,
Brian.
like, okay,
You
what
should
else?
record some in the memory booth.
Yeah, definitely. I need to go there
Yes.
and be. Like, I could pick any one thing. It'd be shocking what I could remember. But yeah, that's a great idea. Anything you want to add?
Oh, I do.
Good.
So we have a fund called the Everyone Wins Fund, and that is if you can't decide and you want to make one donation that gets split among all of the participating organizations, you could give to the Everyone Wins Fund.
Oh, that's
which
a
is
great
on the Missoula
idea.
Gives page.
Yeah. So sometimes, people say, "Oh, I just don't know what to do."
It's hard to pick.
But I want to give $50 $100, they can split it among everyone
Yeah.
and have the fun. And then also, if people want to go back to MissoulaGives.org during the course of the event, will you have that total?
It will, yes. Once at 5 p.m. on Thursday,
Yeah.
it's going to start.
Yeah, I like that.
Increasing and increasing.
And you got the countdown now on the website, like that it's going to start.
I think I have a slight Missoula Gives problem, like an addiction, because
Mm.
even now, because some of our heroes, some of our fundraising champions can be collecting donations, I just refresh all the time. And during the Missoula Gives, I'm just like constant refresh. Where are we at now?
It's exciting.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's a slight, I just can't put it down.
So yeah,
There are worse addictions.
people are watching, want to get addicted and say, how is it going? Like those marathons, and that's the way you guys are presenting it, which I think is good. It builds enthusiasm, it builds awareness, and so that it gets that momentum where people are thinking about this issue. So 29 hours, get her done,
do it.
as we
Yeah.
say here at Bud.
Before we leave, I do
Yeah.
not want to forget to thank our premier sponsor, Missoula Federal Credit Union.
Oh, very good. They're right here.
Powering us. Yes, we have
Powered
other
by.
wonderful sponsors, but they're our top ones, so I wanted to make sure that we mentioned them.
Excellent. My bank too.
Yes,
as it turns out. All right, Jesse, any last words from you?
Just let's do it. It's going to be a fun event for everyone, and don't forget to support history too.
All right.
And your community.
And make history. We will make history this
Yeah.
year with Missoula Gives.
That's right.
That's it. All right, thank you guys so much for taking the time to be on the show and everything.
Thank you.
And thank you, dear viewer, for taking the time to watch the show. As ever, if you know of a group and you'd like to see them on this program, give us a call at MCAT. The number is 542-6228. For MCAT, I'm Joel Baird. We'll see you next time.
Thank you all for being here. Spent the better part of the last 2 days having lengthy conversations with the community and representatives from the university about the inextricable nature of the University of Montana and the city of Missoula. And this is just another great way to take a small step toward, as we say, blurring the lines between campus and the community. And the fact of the matter is that that there's not a better way to blur those lines than to have really lovely, interesting artwork created by students in a place where this is a public house, right? This is a place where folks come to engage in all manner of activity with city government, and during the course of that engagement, they actually get something to think about, right? And to feel over. And these walls they've never looked so good. So I'm grateful to all of you for wanting to participate in this. I'm grateful to the Art Committee for all it does fairly relentlessly to promote arts and culture in our community, along with our friends at Arts Missoula.
The Public Art Committee decided they want to partner with the University of Montana School of Art and just kind of reach their fingers more into the community. So that started in July, August of last year, and so we reached out to Kevin and Marianne Bongiorni, a different professor, to see what our possibilities were, and this was the idea, to kind of liven up some of Missoula's public spaces that we have access to.
It's really exciting. It's a nice chance to get your work out in the city, and it's very nice that it's in such a prominent space. I chose art because my dad told me if I wanted to starve all my life, I could be a rancher like him. And so I guess my proclivity for starvation is genetic. And so I decided to go to the arts instead.
We applied and set up our work. I think it looks really great. The mayor came and said a couple words, and it's just a great exposure for us to have the city of Missoula see our work more.
Over and over again, I hear from people who visit Missoula for the first time, they're amazed at the fact that, we have art and we have culture, and not only do we have those two things, but we have them in world-class variety, right? So one day I will not be able to afford any of these. Might not be able to afford them now as far as that goes.
The city's been working really closely with the School of Art to get student work in public buildings downtown. And I think it's a nice way that there can be a connection between the town and the university. Oftentimes we kind of feel isolated out over there at the university. Parking's hard, it's hard to find the right building you can be at, and so instead it's just nice to bring the art into town and have that connection more stronger so that people can see what's going on up there.
Well, Kevin told us, and I was like, yeah, I have some art that I can hang, and it was just another opportunity to show my work in a space. I currently have another piece up in Zootown Brew, so it's pretty cool to say, yeah, I got a piece up in City Hall.
I really am just a yes woman, so I say yes to everything, any opportunity to show my work, especially since I'm fairly new to town. I'm originally from upstate New York, so I saw this opportunity and Kevin introduced me to it and I just kind of jumped on it.
It's a really good opportunity to like get your name out there too, and especially like in a place like this where like people normally don't really want to be here, you know. Now they come in here and they see a bunch of like art, you know, and it just, I think it really lightens up the mood. Living in Montana, growing up in Montana, and like different personalities in Montana. So like this one, for instance, called The Travelers, and it's actually about the settling of Missoula. So like you can see I've got like all these little people and stuff, like they're like traveling across the countryside and all that, and thought it would be fitting for City Hall.
They're going to be here through the summer and into the fall, so they're going to be here for quite a while. And this is our first time doing this project, so there's some ideas we have in the future to make this work even better, I think. But it's really exciting to see the artwork up in here. Yeah, so we're really happy with it.
Our goal is to add as many spaces as we possibly can get our hands on. Even, you know, when we're installing, some of the people that work here were like, oh my gosh, I want that piece in my office, and just like, why not? Like, why can't we bring access to art for the community, I would say.
I volunteer at multiple art institutions around town, and that provided me a lot of opportunities I wouldn't have had otherwise. So I would say anytime you have an opportunity, you should take it.
Show your work as much as possible. It really does, you'll be surprised the amount of new opportunities that arise from just something small scale like this.
Say yes. That's the biggest thing I can say is, you know, like until you just say yes and, you know, like step out of your box and do it, you're never going to get out there. So
As an artist, you may think, oh, I could do this better, oh, this is not good enough, but it is. Just get that exposure out there and just let yourself be seen.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Guys. Good job, you guys.